My job this morning is to talk on what is ASWAP. And if you read on the headlines, it's all ASWAP. The only difference is you have not put improving agricultural production so that you have nutrition, so that you have income, so that you are healthy. So I think that's ASWAP. And with that, I would say I have almost concluded. Now, what is ASWAP? It is an agricultural sector-wide approach being coordinated by the Ministry of Agriculture, but wants the participation of everybody who is here. And we want all the stakeholders. Only that I think probably farmers, I didn't hear their names, but they are also major players in ASWAP. The ASWAP, it was drawn from the agreement between the government and development partners. And it is a contribution of multidisciplinary teams. And initially, it was started by MASIP, but there were a lot of consultations which took place. And there are some peer working groups formed to spearhead the specific issues. And there's a national and international consultants who supported also the process. Now, from the consultants, the findings from there, they were used to build the ASWAP. ASWAP aims at increasing agricultural productivity. And it is a prioritized investment program with result-oriented and focused on MGDS targets for the agricultural sector. In other words, we want that this growth of not less than 6% if we are to grow. We know that our population is growing by about 3%. And if we have to have economic development, it means our economic development has to be more than the 3%. So agriculture contributes greatly towards that. And because of that, we want that it's a growth of not less than 6%. And it is a gradual harmonization and alignment of government and donor support. And the ASWAP supports capacity building and the strengthening of institutions for effective. I hope it's not sabotage. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And it is linked to regional and international policy framework. Now, what is the relationship between the ASWAP and the MDGs? The government's overarching medium-term strategy to attain the nation's vision of 2020 is what is ASWAP. We want agricultural growth. And for that to happen, it means all of us who are here, we have to contribute towards that. And because of that, ASWAP operates within the MGDS in areas of agriculture, food security, irrigation, and risk reduction. Now, in agriculture, we want increased agricultural productivity. Initially, we are concentrating on maize and legumes, but with diversification in process so that livestock and fisheries and other commodities which can improve income and nutrition are brought on board. And the idea for that is that we should have food security, and the irrigation is coming in because we feel that we should not only be relying on rain. Sometimes you have droughts, and if you want sustainable growth, it means be rain or no rain, there has to be at least agricultural development. And the emphasis is to increase contribution from agriculture from food crops and other commodities, fisheries, and livestock. ASWAP originated also is working in line with other regional and continental organizations. So the programs on ASWAP are aligned to NEPAD and also to CADIP, so that agriculture in Africa should grow. Now, we are talking about nutrition. You cannot have nutrition if you don't have the food itself. So the first thing is produce the food. And I think we don't have to invent the wheel, because even God knew. When he was creating man, first of all, it was a garden, which had plenty. And the reason was that the man had to enjoy. So misery is our own making. And I think we are here to coordinate to say, what did we do to minimize the miseries which we are currently having by having no food, by having no meat, no fish, and limited income. And as a result, we are malnourished and we are stunted. And I think ASWAP has got a role, and that's what we are saying. For that role to be played properly, all of us who are here have to contribute towards that. That is the nationals, the donors, all the stakeholders, all the NGOs, they have to play a role at that, in this ASWAP. Now, for this to work, ASWAP also works more on, say, ownership of the program. We have to own it. We can be given food, all right, but that is short term. There is a saying, if you are given food, then you will continue begging food. But if you are given the mechanism to produce, then you will always be having the food available. So ASWAP wants that to be happening. And the people to produce that food is us. And that's why from the previous presenters, you find that all those were talking ASWAP. Research, Dr. Maiden was talking ASWAP. And the World Division was talking ASWAP. There were so many presenters, sweet potatoes or what, they were talking ASWAP. And all those have to come in. So we are here on ASWAP. Otherwise, we would say the whole conference here is ASWAP. So if somebody asks you to say, what is happening, just say, we were in ASWAP. And when you are leaving, just have a simple message, because they may ask you a difficult question. Say, we were just dealing with ASWAP. Then from there, I think you can have responses. So we want to align, donors should base their overall support on partners, countries, national development strategies, institutions and procedures. So we are to be the key players in that. And we have to have harmonization. And you would find that from here, from the discussions, even from the comments, it was stated how come that we are not achieving all that. Now, that is just pictorial framework. We want food security and risk management. We want institutional strengthening and capacity building. And we want technology generation and dissemination. Because if the farmers are to produce, it means they have to have the technology on how to produce, and the technology how to process, and technology on how to use those so that we have nutrition. And even from the questions which were being raised, we can all see that all those will be addressed through ASWAP. And I already mentioned about that. Basically, we want food security and risk management. Maize is just the starting point, but diversification of crops and livestock and fish through irrigation, I think all those have also to be promoted. I have already talked about the risk management, and from there, we are saying we should not remain farmers, because the agriculture itself has also to develop other agro-processing facilities so that farming is taken as a business. I hate the terminology say subsistence, because the moment you are thinking of subsistence, then it means there's no business and there's no survival. So I think we should remove the idea of subsistence, and we should be thinking of agriculture as a business, and we should be thinking of exports, agro-processing, and market development. And with that, we have to sustainably manage our land and our water to utilize the agricultural products which we want. And with that, we have to be results and market-oriented, and I have already talked about research, and we need to strengthen our capacity, both at farmer, district, and local levels. Now, we are not only looking into production, but we are also looking into cross-cutting issues, HIV prevention and AIDS mitigation if we have it, and gender equality and empowerment. Because if we don't do that, then we will not be complete. Now the implementation, how is it implemented? It starts at the grassroots level, then goes to the district, then goes to the national level. And the national, we are only there for policy formulation, technical, then partnership and secretariat coordination. But main work should be done at the district. Now, there should be no NGO complaining to say we are not part of ASWAP. Because we are saying if you want to be ASWAP, start at the local level and at the district level, regional level, then come to the national level. That is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much.